While Bush and Biden have recognized that Hamas does not represent Palestinians, some Jews cannot seem to find an innocent civilian in all of Gaza.
What do you do with civilians? It's a good question. What do you do with civilians? What is the Jewish attitude? What's the Jewish law? The Jewish law is you don't kill a civilian. What makes them a civilian? Who's a civilian? So the law is that if you're fighting a war and one of your enemy surrenders, you're not allowed to kill him. Now he's a civilian because he surrendered. If he says, I want to leave, I just want to leave the country, I'm going away, don't kill him, let him leave. But if he's standing there without surrender and without leaving, he's not a civilian. A very simple question. I promise not to harm your civilians. Who is a civilian? I'm supposed to decide. I have to go into Gaza and identify the civilians? That's not my job. The civilians have to identify themselves. Hold up a white flag, I'll know that you're a civilian. I won't shoot you. You're not holding up a white flag. So I'm supposed to decide whether you're a civilian? Just because you're not wearing a uniform? No.
To be clear, this demonization of Palestinians is nothing new. Long before the October 7th attacks, Israeli journalists and historians tried telling the world of Israel's crimes against Palestinians, but much of the world refused to listen.
Just give the three principles which enable us Israelis to live so easily with this brutal reality. A, most of the Israelis, if not all of them, deeply believe that we are the chosen people. And if we are the chosen people, we have the right to do whatever we want. B, there were more brutal occupations in history. There were even longer occupations in history, even though the Israeli occupation gets to quite a nice record. But there was never in history an occupation in which the occupier presented himself as the victim. Not only the victim, the only victim around. This also enables any Israeli to live in peace because we are the victims. But the third set of values is the most dangerous one, and this is the systematic dehumanization of the Palestinians, which enable us Israelis to live in peace with everything, because if they are not human beings like us, then there is not really a question of human rights. And if you scratch under the skin of almost every Israeli, you will find it there. Almost no one will treat the Palestinians as equal human beings like us.
To be clear, this is not just a Jewish problem. Claiming to be God's chosen ones, wallowing in victimization, and dehumanizing others is a human problem